Praise be to God, there is no other God except God. Verse 11:1 in the Quran informs us that the Quran's miracle involves 1. The superhuman mathematical design of its physical structure, and 2. The simultaneous composition of a literary work of extraordinary excellence. One may be able to meet the numerical distribution requirements of a simple mathematical pattern. However, this is invariably accomplished at the expense of the literary quality. The simultaneous control of the literary style and the intricate mathematical distribution of individual letters throughout the Quran is evident in the fact that the Quran is made easy to memorize, understand, and enjoy. Unlike a human-made book, the Quran is enjoyable to read over and over infinitely. Verses 17, 22, 32, and 40 in Surah 54 repeat that the Quran was made easy to learn. As it turns out, the Quran's Arabic text is composed in such a way as to remind the reader or the memorizer of the next correct expression or the next verse. God created us, and He knows the most efficient way for fixing literary materials into our memory. Memorization of the Quran has played a vital role in preserving the original text generation after generation, at a time when written books were a rarity. Without even realizing it, the person who memorizes the Quran is divinely helped by an intricate literary system as he utters the sounds of the Quranic words. Almost every verse in the Quran contains what we call memory bells. Their function is to remind the reader of what comes next. This system is so vast, but let me give you only 2 illustrative examples. One, in Surah 2, verses 127, 128, and 129, and with 2 different names of God each. These pairs of names are Al-Sami Al-Alim, the Hearer, the Omniscient, Al-Tawwab Al-Rahim, the Redeemer, Most Merciful, and Al-Aziz Al-Hakim, the Almighty, Most Wise, respectively. If this were a regular book, one would easily mismatch these 6 names. Not so in the Quran. Each one of these pairs is preceded in the same verse by a memory bell that reminds us of the correct pair of names. Thus, verse 127 talks about Abraham and Ismail raising the foundations of the Kaaba. The verse ends with the names Al-Sami Al-Alim. The prominent sounds here are the S and the M and the Ain. These 3 letters are prominent in the word Ismail. We find that this word is conspicuously delayed in the sentence while improving its literal quality. Thus, we find that the verse goes like this. When Abraham raised the foundations of the Kaaba, together with Ismail, normally a human writer would say when Abraham and Ismail raised the foundations of the Kaaba. But delaying the sounds in Ismail brings them closer to the end of the verse, and thus reminds us that the correct names of God in this verse are Al-Sami Al-Alim. Verse 128 has the prominent word Tub, just before the names Al-Tawwab Al-Rahim. The word Tub thus serves as the memory bell. The names of God at the end of verse 129 are Aziz Hakim. The prominent sounds here are Z and K. Obviously, the memory bell in this verse is the word Yazak Kahim. 2. Another good example is found in verses 3, 176, 177, and 178, where the retribution for disbelievers is described as Adim, terrible, Alim, painful, and Muhin, humiliating, respectively. In a human-made book, the memorizer could easily mix up these 3 descriptions, but we find that each of these adjectives is preceded by a powerful memory bell that prevents such a mix-up. The word Adim of verse 176 is preceded by the word Hudun, which is characterized by a stressed letter D. This serves to remind us of the particular adjective at the end of this verse. The word Alim of verse 177 is preceded by the sound of the word Iman, to serve as a memory bell, and the word Muhin of 3178 is preceded by the abundance of M's and H's throughout this verse. And there are many more similar examples like this.